the game, cause see the boxing voice.
And welcome back, everyone, to the Squared Circle, only on, with the Sports Swami, only on ThaBoxingvoice.com. And now join me on the line. This man here will be fighting. It's going to be more tough for Niff, only on a 10-round scrap. We're going to be looking for, it's actually a 12-round scrap here. He has his eyes, once again, on becoming a middleweight champion. And here, he has his eyes close. I give you the pride and joy of, hopefully, he's one step. You and Fernando Guerrero, you guys are with. You and Fernando Guerrero, you guys were supposed to meet years ago. Your paths diverged. Now you're meeting for the first time ever. What does he bring to the table? What do you see out of him that is different from anybody you faced so far?
He's a world championship contender. He's been on that stage plenty of times. He fought Peter Quillen for the championship belt. He knows what it takes to get there because he's been there. And I think this is another shot at it. So he's confident. He has a winning attitude before he even steps in the ring. You know, he's confident in himself. He's confident in his talent. He's confident in his coaches, his ability. And it's a kid that's confident, and it's trouble for anybody.
It's ironic, the two of you guys have similar styles. You both are go for broke offense. You both will sometimes sacrifice defense for offense. Does that change your game plan for this fight, knowing you have a guy who he will come forward? He's not going to dance around. He's not going to try to tie you up. He's a guy who's going to try to come in there, bull rush, and throw a lot of power shots. Does that change your game plan in terms of how you're going to box?
I actually think it would change his game plan once he get hit one time. You know what I mean? Because if that's the game plan, I think the fans are in for a pretty good matchup. You know what I mean? So, like, man, I think it's a pretty fair fight, man. I think it's a pretty fair fight, man. I think me and him. I think the standard that we both possess are promotions and Al did it, and I think promotions and Al did it.
But both times he's lost that I've seen, he's been knocked. Actually, the 3 times he's been knocked out violently. 2 of them were to former world champions Peter Quillen, as you mentioned, David Lemieux. How big is it for you to stop him? Because if you beat him, it means you can be you're a championship contender. If you can't, there's a lot of questions. So how much pressure is there on you for you to win and win by knockout?
I mean, that's the goal. You know what I mean? So, and a lot of people get confused about winning. You know what I mean? Like it's okay to win. I mean, well, that's the main goal is to win. But you know what I mean? Aggressively is a little bit different than just winning. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people out here that can just win. But to be exciting, man, and to get the crowd and to get the fans, you got to win impressively, and that's what I always shoot for. You know, it was a curse in the fight that I lost to Willie Nelson. So, it was a curse in the fight that I lost to Willie Nelson. So, but you know what I mean. I'm not shying away that big. Getting back to what I was doing before. I think winning impressively and getting back to what I was doing before.
Take us back to the last.
Just what I got to do.
Take us back to the last fight. It was you versus shots. I'd say bounds. What went right? Started landing some shots. I'd say buzzed you a bit. What went right? Started landing some shots. I'd say buzzed you a bit. What went right? What went wrong? And how do you grade yourself in that fight?
I wasn't impressed with myself at all. I got hit with those shots in the night. And the reason I got those shots in the night is just because I got real comfortable. And me just winning is because I was satisfied with what was going on. Me just winning and the left hook every round, and then just putting the pressure on him, right hand and the left hook. You know what I mean? Wasn't it just putting the pressure on him? Because if I would have just go back and shooting the stop, you know what I mean? Because if I would have never lost to Willie Nelson, I would have stopped Cecil McCallum. You know what I mean? My game plan was just a little bit different going into the fight. Coming off a loss. You know what I mean? So. It kind of changed me up, and I didn't. He landed a shot, and he got a little confident. He landed a shot, and that's what happened in the sport of boxing. But I'm been comfortable. I'm back to putting the pressure. I'm back to fighting. I'm back to being me. I'm back to being comfortable. Back to putting the pressure. I'm back to punching as hard as I can punch. You know what I mean? I'm back to giving something to take some. I'm back to that mind state, and you know what, man? It's at the end of the day, this is me. This is who I am. This is the second half of my career. Team knockout. And this is going to continue to be me for the second half of my career.
The knock on you is and we talked about before last time we had him on the show, you give up defense for offense. You throw a lot of big power shots. Sometimes let your hands down. You will go in there for the big knockout. That's what makes you an entertaining fighter. It's made you successful. That's what cost you in the loss. Going forward, have you, your team, maybe an outside guy you bring in, when do you start mixing this? You won't have enough defense so that you're not getting caught, so that there won't be a remake of the only loss, Willie Nelson, where he just caught you because just for a second you dropped your hands.
Yeah. Like I said, I brought my uncle in, man, and I'm talking about he's a scholar for the sport. He's also the son of Henry Hank, just like my father, and he's a little bit older, so he got the opportunity to train with my granddad. So, he's a scholar in the sport. He's very, very knowledgeable. If you could open up a book of boxing and knowledge, his name would probably be in it. You can sit down and talk to him and listen to stories and stories and stories and it's I could sit next to him and talk to him all day. So I brought him in, which I think was the extra edge. You know what I mean? Him and my father's like hot water and cold water. You know what I mean? My father was a boxer when he was coming up, and my uncle is more of a risk taker, puncher. Stop a guy when he needs to be stopped. So I think with those two balancing out in my corner, I think I can't go wrong. You know what I mean? Nah, I won't say my dad is too safe, but he's more of a safe kind of coach. You know what I mean? And I think I got here by taking risks and being dangerous and risk taker. So, you know what I mean? I brought my uncle in, which is, I'm talking about, camp has been going great for me. I've been stopping a lot of guys, and camp has been going great. And, as far as defense, I think my offense is the best defense I got. You know what I mean? So, it's hard for somebody that's the thing, who always got the ball. You know what I mean? So, that's the thing. I think I'm in better shape. Mentally, I'm in the right place. My team wise, I'm on point. And I got my brother in doing strength and conditioning, and he's pushing my body to the max. I'm looking like I'm about 165 right now, but I'm really on weight. And I'm actually excited, man. I'm excited. I'm ready. I think this is a hell of a card that they're putting together with all these young prospects on it, and I think you get to see a great night of boxing, that night.
Once again, it's going to be March 5th. Julian Williams versus Marcelo Matano, Antoine Douglas versus Sam Solomon, and this man here versus Fernando Guerrero in the Sands Bethlehem Event Center in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Once again, it is Tony Harrison, and once again, Tony, always on a pleasure. Have you on the show.
No other sight in the game could see the boxing